Let's continue talking about Shabbat candles. One of the most important things, that we have to know is that when you're lighting candles for Shabbat, you have to make a bracha, right? Before. What's the bracha? Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. This is the bracha for the candles. What about Yom Tov? You say le'adlik ner shel Yom Tov, not Shabbat, right? Don't say Shabbat. But if you said Shabbat, it's okay, b'diavad. You don't have to say the bracha again. Why? Because Yom Tov is also Shabbat. It's called Shabbat in the Torah, So if you made a mistake, you didn't say Yom Tov, you said Shabbat, yatzai dechova. He doesn't have to make the bracha again. That's one thing. What about Yom Kippur? Right? Do we light candles for Yom Kippur? If it's not Shabbat?
Yes.
So there are some places, it says Shulchan Aruch, there are some places that they don't light candles for Yom Kippur. Minhag, Some places they do. There are different minhagim. So the place where there is to make a minhag, to make the bracha on Yom Kippur, that means, it says the Yalkut Yosef, you should also make the bracha, The adlik ner shel Yom Kippur. No, don't say Yom Tov. Don't say Shabbat. Yom Kippurim, yeah, something like that. Whatever, it's all good. Yom Kippurim, it's all good. So this is the way it is, you got to make sure you say the right thing, but b'diavad. If you said Shabbat, it's okay, because Shabbat, all these things are Shabbat. They're all Shabbat. Why? Because we're resting, on these days. Okay, but here's the thing, right? That's clear. But question comes up like this, right? There's two different minhagim. One minhag is that according to Shulchan Aruch, according to Rambam, according to all the Rishonim, basically, right? Except one, and I'll tell you what I mean. The bracha should be made before you light the candle. First you make the bracha, le'adlik ner shel Shabbat, and then light. But a lot of people, the Ashkenazim, what they do is, they first light and then they make the bracha. Understand? This is what they do, the Ashkenazim. The opposite. Right? So what happened was, that because, as we said, right, that came in the Ashkenazim, to our communities, they taught us to do like the Ashkenazim, and because of that, many of the, Sephardi communities, they're also doing like this, the women. That first they light and then they make the bracha. You understand? So we have to talk about this, because we have to understand what the whole point is over here. Talmud says like this, right? All the brachot you have to do over le'asiyatan. What does that mean? The bracha should come before the mitzvah. It says in the Talmud, right? So this is also included in that, right? In Shabbat also. The bracha should come before the mitzvah. There's one exception where the bracha comes after the mitzvah. You know what that is? No, Rabbi? Okay. I'll help you. Don't worry.
I know what.
The only one, what?
No.
The only one is for giur, right? When you do giur, right? Ala tevilah, right? With the blessing, right? Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ala tevilah. So there, right, the ger makes the bracha after he comes out of the mikveh, not before he goes into the mikveh.
To be Jewish.
Oh, you see what he's saying? Chacham. The Chacham is saying over here, he has to be first Jewish. Before he goes into the mikveh, he's still a goy. You understand? So he cannot make a bracha. You goy making a bracha? Right? He's not commanded to make brachot. By the way, I have to tell you one thing though, What about if a goy did make a bracha? Is he allowed to make a bracha? Let's say, he wants to say, Shiakol niyal divaro. Is he allowed to make the goy a bracha? He's allowed to make, if he wants to, He wants to be religious, He wants to be Jewish, He likes the Jewish customs, So he says, right, Shiakol niyal divaro. Right, like this. He's allowed to do that if he wants. We don't tell him to do it. It's his choice,
Before he takes it to you?
Yeah, because, even a goy is allowed to bless Hashem, Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Isn't that part of the 7 brachot they allow?
No, it has nothing to do with the 7 mitzvot. It's just that they can do extra mitzvot if they want to, Let's say a goy wants to keep kashrut, He wants to keep kosher. Is he allowed to keep kosher? Of course, yeah, he can keep kosher. Go to the kosher butcher, right? Go to Wasserman's, whatever, right? And go to 108 and buy kosher meat. He wants to keep kosher. That's his business. There's two things that two mitzvot that a goy is not allowed to keep. You know which one they are? Shabbat is number one. They're not allowed to keep Shabbat. Right? The other one is what? Talmud Torah, right? They're not allowed to learn Torah. These two mitzvot, the goy is not allowed to do. But all the other mitzvot, if they want to do, they can do if they want. Let's say goy wants to put tefillin, right? He's allowed to put tefillin. There's no prohibition. He wants to go, to buy mezuzah, to put mezuzah. We cannot tell him, don't buy mezuzah. Why? If he wants, he wants. On the other hand, they tell us, if you're moving, right, to a different house, right, and goy is coming into that house, right, don't leave him the mezuzot. We don't leave him the mezuzah. Only for Jews coming in, then we have to leave the mezuzot. We have to leave it. Not allowed to take the mezuzot. Asur. This is mesukan. It's dangerous, But if you
obtain a good thing, or non-Jewish, still
kick the mezuzah. Don't leave it there.
Don't leave it.
No, because why? Because we don't leave the mezuzah for the goy. What's the reason why? Because we're afraid, he's going to abuse it. He's going to do something bad to it. You know what I mean? You know how they are. They don't care. They don't care about the kedusha. So maybe he's going to take it out, and play around with it. Do some crazy things. Maybe he's going to take it into the bathroom. God knows. So that's the thing. So we don't leave it for him. But if he wants to do, mezuzah, he wants to do tefillin, that's his business. We cannot stop him. He wants to keep kashrut, mutar. Let's say he wants to do Hanukkah, right? Hanukkah candles. He can light. What's the problem? No problem. Just those two mitzvot he cannot do, right? Shabbat and Talmud Torah. Those are the ones he cannot do. Asur. Okay, fine. So now, right, let's talk about this a little bit. So as we said, that all the brachot that you make are supposed to be before the mitzvah, right? So here also it should be before the mitzvah. That's what it says in Shulchan Aruch. So then why do people do, the Ashkenazim, why do they do first the lighting and then they do the bracha? Why do they do this? This is no good. Why? Because the Rambam says it's bracha labatala. It's a blessing in vain. Why? Because once you do the mitzvah, it's too late to make the bracha. It's too late. You did the mitzvah already. Too late. So why do Ashkenazim they do like this? So the truth is that Maran Rabbi our great rabbi, he spoke about this a lot, this sugya. A lot of times he spoke about it. He spent hours and hours and hours speaking about this throughout his life. Many shurim. He also wrote many things, and always same thing he said, don't do like the Ashkenazim. Don't do like them. This is asur. According to Rambam, it's bracha levatala. All the Rishonim said you should first make the bracha and then light. There's one exception, right? You know who it is? There's one Chacham, Ashkenazi, right? Rishonim, one of the Rishonim. His name is Rav David Weil. Right? So he is the one who wrote the Minhag of the Ashkenazim. He was the first one. You know what he said? He said the women, he says by us, the Ashkenazim, the minhag is that they first light and then they make the bracha. The women decided this minhag. You understand? So this minhag, where does it come from? Not from the rabbis. It comes from the women. Women, they don't know halacha so good. They don't understand so good halacha. It says in the Talmud, whoever listens to his wife, listen to this, right? He's going to go to Gehinnom. On the other hand, right, it says, that when it comes to practical things, practical, you should listen to your wife. You know why? Because women, practical things, they know very well. They know how to make life good, practical. Things like this, for the house, for the household. Things like this, how to decorate the house, what kind of furniture to buy, these kinds of things, women know very well what to do. They're very good at the practical things. But it says, if you listen to your wife, you're going to go to Gehinnom. What is this talking about? It's talking about if you listen to her in halacha. You make her your rabbi, Will a woman become, your wife is your rabbi? What are you asking her about the halacha? Go to your rabbi. Ask him. You asking your wife the halacha? What, she's a posek? This is a fool, tipesh, chamor, person who does like this. So two different things, practical, yes, listen. But not practical, don't listen to your wife, right? Torah, halacha, don't listen to your wife. You listen to her, you're going to go to Gehinnom. Why? Because she's going to cause you to sin. She's not going to give you the right advice. That's the thing, So make sure you understand, right? tell you something really funny, right? Real story. Maran Rabbi, he told us this story himself. I heard from him, this story. Listen to this, right? When he was looking for a shidduch, trying to get married, right? Everybody's looking. So what happened was, that he went out on a date with this lady, right? That was going to be his wife, right? Rabbanit Margolit, she was a big tzaddiket, by the way, this lady, Margolit. So what happened was like this, right? Her father was a rabbi. She was a daughter of a Talmid Chacham. He was a rabbi. Yeah? He had a keilah in Yerushalayim, and he was the rabbi of the keilah, just like the rabbi, right? Rabbi of keilah. Same thing. He was a rabbi. So what happened was, that when he went out with her on a date, the first date, what happened was she's telling him like this. She's telling Maran, says, my father is a rabbi. He says, we have our minhagim, the way we do minhagim. He says, I want to do like this everything, whatever my father used to do. What do you say? So Maran, he didn't go like the minhagim of her father. You know what I mean? Maran had his own minhagim, his own shitot. So Maran told him, he says, I'm sorry. He says, when it comes to halakha, you have to go like me, not like you. I'm the husband, you're the wife. The wife doesn't decide the halakha. Excuse me. The wife doesn't decide the minhagim. So listen to this now, right? So she was a little bit surprised, when he told her this, oh, my minhagim? You don't want to do my father's minhagim? So he told her, he was scared, that she was going to fight with him, about this. There's going to be fights all the time. Machloket, shalom bayit problems, all kinds of things. He was afraid. He already saw, as the Hakam Harot Nolad, right? Who was Hakam? Whoever sees, right, the future, what's going to be. He saw already, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be machloket. So you know what he did? Listen to this. True story. He made a contract, before they got married. What does it say? When it comes to halakha, me. When it comes to practical things, you. He made her sign this contract before they got married. You understand? Because he didn't want any misunderstanding, you know what I mean? Don't come into the marriage and say, oh, my minhagim. What's your minhagim? I'm the husband. I'm the rabbi here. I mean, who are you? You're a woman. You're supposed to be doing the housework. So, therefore, right, you see from here how important it is, So it's already not a good thing, because this minhag that they first light the candles and then make the bracha. This is a woman's minhag. So Maran used to say, you want to do like the ladies or you want to do like the Rambam and the Rishonim? What do you want to do? It's up to you, Who do you think is more chacham? Rambam or the ladies? Which one you like more? He told us, That's what he said. So therefore, he was very adamant about this, Don't do like this minhag of the Ashkenazim. Even though a lot of Sfarim, they do like this, a lot of communities, they do. But he said, you have to change it, You got to change this minhag. You got to alter it. Why? Because according to many Rishonim, you're making bracha levatala. You're making a blessing in vain. No good. This is not a good thing. Yeah.
What about the Yiratzon also before? You have to read it or
Yiratzon, once you light, you can do whatever you want. Yiratzon, you can say 1,000 Yiratzon. No problem, right? Whatever you want to do. That's not a problem, right? We're just talking about the bracha. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Yiratzon, you can do 1,000 of them, 100,000, whatever you want to do.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yesterday you said about you can put the light on Shabbat, electrical or the...
Not on Shabbat, before Shabbat.
Before Shabbat. I'm sorry. No, you said you're going to put the chazaika. But if chazaika have a 2-3 door who is under 13.
Yes.
What they going to light?
They don't light. They just come and say amen. That's it. That's all they have to do, right? Stand over there. Right, exactly. That's a minhag. Yes. The girls don't light. They just come, they sit there, with the mother. They say amen. Shalom Yisrael. That's it, right? If they want to add more candles, they could add more. But they cannot make the bracha, That's the thing. So that's it, right?
If light is okay, if don't light also is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. They shouldn't light. They don't have to light nothing.
But our Sephardi minhag what?
This is a minhag. Like that. They don't light. They don't light. Just chazaika. Yes, absolutely. It's good you asked this question. It's good. It's an important question. Okay, so anyway, right, getting back to what we said. So therefore, right, the Maran was very against this minhag. And he said, right, how can you go again with the women, as we said, right, against all the rabbis, you know, it's no good, this is no good, no good. So he told everybody, change it, you know, I know your wife is doing like this. Yeah, tell her no more, that's it, right, change it now. Sometimes, you know, your wife won't listen to you, you know, don't fight with her, don't make her fight about machloket. You know, gentle, you know, slow, right? Divrei chachamim nishmaim benachat, right? When you, chachamim are, they hear them when they speak benachat. Don't scream, don't yell, don't fight with people. Little by little, right? She'll get used to it. You know, it's going to take time. Maybe it's going to take 1 month. Maybe it's going to take 6 months. I don't know, whatever it's going to take, right? You got to go slow sometimes with these things, you know? But the Maran was very, very strong about this, you know? Don't do like the Ashkenazim. They can do like this, you know, the Ashkenazim. Why? Because that's their minhag, you know? The rabbis, you know, their rabbis, they can do. But we don't have this minhag, you know what I mean? This is minhag that came from the Ashkenazim. So we have no business with this minhag. You know what I mean? That's the thing, you know, especially because all the rabbis are against it. All the Rishonim are against it. So therefore, the proper thing to do, you know, first make the bracha and then you light. Now let me just explain, right, 2 minutes. The side of the Ashkenazim, right? What are they doing, the Ashkenazim? What are they doing? So I'll explain to you what they do, right? They say like this, it says in the Ramah like this, that what they do is like, because, you know, as we said, right, you really have to make the bracha first, you know, and then do the lighting. That's the halakha. But they say, you know, like this, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to light the candle, right? And I'm going to cover my eyes. That's what they do, right? You see the Ashkenazim, right? They cover their eyes like this.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Yeah, they cover, right? Why do they cover the eyes? What's the reason why? Because they say, if I don't see the candle, I didn't do the mitzvah yet, you know? So what they do is they make the bracha, and then they open their eyes. You know? So I didn't do I didn't do the mitzvah until I opened my eyes. Uncovered by my eyes. This is what they do, you know, in order to try to make it more correct. But the truth is, you know, this is not enough. It's not really enough. Lo dayenu. It's not enough to do the mitzvah like this, you know. So therefore, if your wife does like this, right, little by little, you know, gently, you know, tell her, you know. The Gadol Ador, you know, Maran, he told us not to do this way. So little by little, you know, change it. What can you do, right? We gotta, you know, start doing things the right way. Because you know what it is, right? I'll finish here. I don't want to go too long. When you make a bracha l'vatala, blessing in vain, you know, like we said, right? This is, you're breaking one of the 10 commandments. You know, right? Lo tisa et Shem Hashem b'shav. Right? It says right from the Rambam, when you make a bracha l'vatala, you're transgressing this commandment. The 3rd commandment, you're transgressing. You know, so you got a big problem there. You know what I mean? So it's not a joke, you know? Can you imagine? You're going to go to Shammai. One day, you know, they're going to tell you, listen, you know, why did you broke the 10 commandments, you know? What's with you? Are you crazy? Why were you doing this? You know, so why are you going to tell them? Well, my wife told me. They say, well, didn't you see the Gemara? It says, if you listen to your wife, you're going to go to Gehinnom. Don't listen to your wife. You know, for practical things, yes. Listen to her. Women are smart, you know, don't, I'm not telling you that they're stupid. Women are very clever, very, very smart. But when it comes to halakha, you go to the rabbi. Not to the women, right? That's the way it is. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, amen, amen. לפי חלק השומר, אצל הקדוש ברוך הוא לעשות בישראל, ולפיך הכי בא להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר בני חפש, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.